Testing. Sean Dexter here. I hope you guys are having a fantastic start to the week. Let me know in the live chat whether you guys can hear me a-okay. We'll be starting in around 2 to 5 minutes. So get your drinks, get comfy. It's gonna be a great one today. Alright, let's get this show started. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and my oh my oh my, what a morning it is shaping out to be. My name is Sean Dex and I welcome you back to the Mango live streams, the Mango daily live streams. So it seems now, and the markets are pumping, the markets are green, it's looking fantastic today. So let's go ahead and put a cherry on top of this freaking cake. I have a special guest for you, the lovely, the gorgeous, the radio voice herself, Krisha. Krisha, how's it going?
And what's up, you guys? How's everyone doing? Happy Monday to each and every one of you.
Before we go further though, Krisha, I tend to goof this up a lot, so let's just wait and confirm that people can actually hear you on the live chat. Could you guys in the live chat go ahead and confirm that you guys can hear Krisha, that she's not too loud, not too soft, etc, etc, because I don't want to ruin the show right when we do get started. So I'm going to take a sip of my drink and I'm going to wait for what people have to say.
Yeah, give us that confirmation. Give us a thumbs up.
It seems like they can hear you. Garima says, yay, Krisha. Francis Razon is in here too. How's it going, buddy? He says, good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, you gotta say it 3 times. Every one of you guys. Okay, you cannot say it 1 time. It's left incomplete, man. It's like an itch that needs to be scratched. You gotta say it at least 3 times.
Gotta do it the mango way.
Krisha, apparently your sound level is coming a bit low.
Okay, now let me try and increase my volume then.
I'll do it on my end too, just to be...
How's it now? Give us a thumbs up.
Turn Sean down like 30%. That's a better... Okay, I could, yeah, let me do that. I'll decrease my volume and increase yours, and then you guys can balance it out on your end. I do apologize, guys. I'm just horrible at this. It's just too many freaking sound channels coming in. Did you guys do ADA? It says boxing fan. No, we haven't done ADA yet. We've just literally started the stream 2 minutes ago. So today's agenda, guys, is going to be Bitcoin, then Ethereum, and then Cardano. Bitcoin definitely doing something really interesting. A lot of people getting excited on Bitcoin, and surprisingly, people kind of ignoring altcoins. Altcoins, in my opinion, are looking freaking fantastic. This is not the time to be sleeping on altcoins, guys. But Krisha, let's go ahead and what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Cardano instead?
No, I think we should start with Bitcoin because, I mean, Bitcoin is, you know, the market leader here. Bitcoin dictates what the alts do as well.
Okay, cool. I went ahead and turned up your volume just a tad bit more because BT, Tornado, New England says Krisha can increase, or rather come up a bit more by 10%. So there we go. Francis Razon says perfect audio, both Krisha and Sean. So awesome. Looks like we can go ahead and get started. Krisha, I do have the Bitcoin daily chart opened up at the moment, all right? We're not going to be as structured as you are. You know how you go like weekly, and then you know, we're going to do it Sean style, and you can give us your thoughts as we go. Okay, I do want to start with the daily because I'm going to be using the daily as a pivot point to judge what's going on the high time frames and the lower time frames. Okay. On my initial assessment this morning, we do have things that are developing on the charts, but might be a little bit premature to get excited just yet on Bitcoin. Okay, on the daily, the first thing that everybody needs to keep in mind is that the daily is in a downtrend. Okay, we haven't changed structure on the daily yet from what has been happening over the past few days. Which I do have a rising wedge on my chart that the bulls, or rather the bears, they won that structure, right? Essentially, they were able to break the structure down. It's one of the few structures throughout this entire market that they were able to actually see a break on, and as well as continuation, which is great for the bears, not for the bulls. For the bears. Now we have come down and tested a major structure over here, Krisha, that I have coming in around 49,000 all the way to around 51,000. I am looking at the candle close on the 23rd of April as the failure by the bulls to hold that zone. Okay, my zone, Krisha, is coming in. You can probably see it if you switch on over to the live chat on YouTube.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
So you can see how like it's amazing, right, how TA works. You can see that how the bulls weren't able to defend it. The bears closed right underneath it. Even though the bulls were able to defend the bottom of the zone, the bears did close within the zone, and then we oscillated between the two throughout the weekend. Okay, now it looks like the bulls have responded. We closed above the zone, yes, the previous day, and now they've responded with a nice big candle. But this day hasn't ended yet, and even if it does, it's not enough for me personally, because to me this is still going to be a lower high on the daily time frame until we put in a higher low. Perhaps on the top of the most bullish thing that the bulls can do, in my opinion, is they put in a higher low somewhere around the top of this zone here. A good candle close would be nice, and then we put a high. Okay, if we do that, all right, cool, the daily is back intact. What are your thoughts?
I agree. So there's still a downtrend that has been established on the daily time frame. I think that as soon as, now we saw the structure actually break down, right? And this is something that I keep telling you guys about in terms of playing patterns. There are a lot of times, okay, especially in a bull market. Now, usually in a bull market, of course, price moves to the upside. That is where the probability lies. However, when you see bearish patterns break down, oftentimes you're going to see the same patterns on the breakdown. They sort of start getting picked back up by the bulls, and as soon as they get back over, okay, now this is what I think. As soon as price gets back over that breakdown point, okay, that's what I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled on. Now the breakdown point, Sean, I think it came in between 56,000 going down to 55. What do you have there?
Yeah, that's pretty much
right?
What I have right there. So we got the break at around 57, then the retest around 55, 56, and then it's continuation, the breakdown point.
Right. Yeah. So I think that as soon as price actually starts getting back up there, right, and we start seeing even a daily candle body close over that region, I'm saying that the bulls are taking this guy up.
Okay, so Krisha is essentially saying she's spinning Bitcoin's bearish structure right now in a bullish manner, which is great. That's Krisha the bull right now. she's essentially saying that if we retake this level over here at around 55 to 57, then the bulls are going to be essentially going for new all-time highs, and I completely agree with that. If we do take this breakdown point back again, the bears had their moment in the sun. They did not see the eventual continuation that they'd want, or rather the measured move for this breakdown would be around 44,000 guys to this wick over here to around 42,000. That's what the bears would have wanted to see. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were looking for that move, and that's likely why a lot of bears probably even front ran their take profits on that, right? Because Bitcoin has been so bullish throughout this period. If I were a bear in a trade where I caught the breakdown, I would not be getting greedy at around 46,000 when I could be taking my profits just for a few $1,000 move. And I've got a freaking almost a $10,000 move, right, from 56,000 all the way down to 46,000. I wouldn't be getting greedy for a couple of thousand. So at the very least, I'll be beginning to start taking profits. And on the flip side of things, Krisha, we also have the bulls, long-term traders who are looking at this pullback as an opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. And they will start dollar cost averaging into their long-term trades as well. So we have two opposing forces that are joining sides temporarily, right, to cause buy pressure into the market, right? We have the bears beginning to take profits, and when you take profits, guys, you are buying into the market, right? To close out a short, you are buying into the market. Then we have bulls who are saying, you know what, I'm not going to get greedy for 40,000, 42,000 either. I'm going to start buying a little bit over here, right? We did that, right, Krisha? We did that over the weekend. Yeah. So if we are doing that, you can assume on the flip side, the bears are thinking the same thing. You know what? We don't want to get too greedy for this, and that's how you start seeing the initial bounce of the first big downtrend, right? The first big leg towards downside. Now the question is, will more bulls start stepping in over here and start buying, and will more bears start closing out more shorts that they have? That's what causes the trend reversal. Now, Krisha, you said something really key over there, which I completely agree with, that 56 to 57,000 region being the key level. I believe that is a key level on the weekly too, and that's showing beautiful confluence. Yes, it is. Okay, so Krisha, switch on over to the weekly level, and in my opinion, this is Bitcoin's most ugliest picture in a while. Okay,
yeah.
Just overall, it's Bitcoin's most ugliest picture. We've not seen this in like since December, I believe, maybe. Actually, no, since September.
Way before.
Yeah, September.
Way before, because,
so, yeah,
I mean,
Kusha, it actually lines up exactly with my thoughts. With I've been saying that this entire region between 50 to 60k is reminding me of the psychology between 10 and 12k, right? Well, guess when we had when was the last time we had an ugly structure like this? 10 and 12k, right?
Yeah.
So this is why, guys, I always tell you, all of you watching back on YouTube over there at home, when you're looking at the charts, understand that you're reading the market psychology. You're not reading just green and red candles. You're not just reading wicks. What you're reading is the sentiment in the market. And around that 60k to 50k region, right, I was getting the same sentiment where we had people on both sides of the fence. People who were ultra bearish, and then when we broke 60k, people who were ultra bullish, right? Way too bullish, not allowing for any downside. That's why we got so many liquidations towards the upside when we pumped, because people got way too long, way too levered, and towards the downside, a lot of people got hurt because when we did get pumped, people were over leveraged looking for that short. They were completely out of position on both sides. So that happened at 10k and 12k too. Same thing. If you guys were here, you guys remember that. Now I believe we're doing the same thing again, right? This is going to go into consolidation. And this picture is saying just that, in my opinion. And Kusha, you can tell me if you agree or not. Bitcoin, this weekly structure is going to take some time, and I will not get ultra bullish. I wouldn't be taking long-term trend trades until we take back this weekly structures, M-like structure that we put in between 8th of March and right over here, 12th of April, and the neckline being 55.6. What are your thoughts?
Yep. No, I'm in agreement there because, like I said, I think that this picture is likely going to change as soon as we take back that breakdown point. That breakdown point, guys, is going to be critical. If we have to see some sort of push by the bulls, watch out for how price reacts off the breakdown point. Okay, I specifically will be looking for candle body closes over that region. And you're right. We could very well also see a sort of a phase of consolidation here, right? Because we're sort of oscillating between this sort of range. I think the range is that 55k, at least at the very least. Price looks like it wants to get up there. Okay, if I just look at the weekly right now, we bounced off of a critical sort of support too, which was 48k, right? And the range is 48k going all the way up to 55. Right? We could see price actually oscillate in that bound, and the alts, alts are looking.
Do you see?
It's make me wonder if this is, this could be an opportunity for the alts here.
Exactly. Those are my thoughts too, which is why we started the stream with, this is not the time to be sleeping on altcoins. This is your opportunity. Actually, I've never been this comfortable saying, you know what, I'm willing to put on more risk on altcoins, right? So we could be wrong on that. Definitely, if Bitcoin goes ahead and completely V-bottoms up over here, which it could, we'd end up being wrong on that, right? In which case, Bitcoin would be the better trade. And we'll be watching for those signs. But at the moment, I'm not seeing enough justification. My question to you, Kusha, is do you think Bitcoin could come down to that major? I have a support zone over here at 45,000 on the weekly time frame. We lost the weekly trend towards the upside. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do come down to even 45,000 now. We could get that push down that the bears might be waiting for. I think there are enough bears still waiting for that push down before we see more shorts get closed out. What are your thoughts on 45k? Or are you completely dismissing that?
No, it'd be so wrong and so overly biased, right, to dismiss 45k. So I think this is what I'll be looking for. Okay, it really just boils down to this. So look for that structure. So right now we can see that Bitcoin has taken a leg up, right, on just this one daily candle. We've pretty much undone this entire bleed of the weekend. So now we've taken this leg up. Okay, now it really depends where we put in that. Do we put in a higher high here? Do we put in a lower high here? Right? At which point, okay, I'll then be looking at where we put in the next low. If we start taking out that 48.5k region, there's a good chance 45k is next.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
So it's going to be, it's going to be an if this and that. But right now, it'd be so stupid. I'm looking at the weekly time frame, and the trend is so aggressively bullish, right, that I will be employing the whole if this then that very I'm gonna do it very systematically almost. I do not want to just let my bearish biases take over here because the weekly is looking so strong.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and go through that methodology that you just mentioned, the if this then that. Okay, so long-term trend trades on at least on my part would be only above the 55k region, right? Now this is where it gets interesting. Only above the 55k region on what time frame, right? Because over here we're seeing on the neckline, the weekly having the neckline at around 55.6k, but then again on the daily, Kusha, as you pointed out, rightfully so, we do have the breakdown point of the rising wedge. So there's confluence over there. To be honest, I may not even wait for a weekly personally. The weekly would be the extra booster where I could add to my position if we do get the weekly candle close above there. If we get around 2 or 3 daily candle closes above the region depending on the structure I see, that would be enough for me, right? If we see a nice grind up, a break over 55k, 60, 55 to 56k, and then a retest, that would be a buy or an add to the trade at the very least. Now that's the weekly and the daily. Essentially what I'm saying, Kusha, is like, I don't think we need to wait for the weekly candle close on this one. Your thoughts?
No, I agree. I'll be looking for that daily.
Okay, cool.
At the very least, the daily.
Now, this is where, guys, it gets really interesting. Remember, Kusha and I are saying weekly and daily are both still suspect, right? Yes, Bitcoin's seeing a bounce today, but it's nothing to get excited about just yet. Personally, I'll be trading the ranges until Bitcoin actually gets out of that zone, right? It's actually a really profitable region because there's a lot of width and volatility to be played over here, right? Especially if you're playing this in conjunction with the options market. Now, Isha, this is where it's going to get really interesting. Let's switch on over to the 12-hour time frame. Now, this is something that made me go like, huh, very, very interesting. What's your read on the 12-hour, Kusha?
Okay, I have my cloud on right now, my Ichimoku Cloud.
Okay.
And I mean, right now we lost the 12-hour cloud, so I think that's something to note. All right, so we've lost the 12-hour cloud. Right now we're sort of testing cloud resistance.
Yeah.
So if we can actually get back in, maybe even perhaps take back that 21 EMA that we have been holding once again as resistance ever since we broke down.
Yeah.
Right. That would be something. That would be a start to something. At that point, we may very well see price actually put in those higher lows. Okay,
cool. So the way I'm reading this now is that we are seeing cloud resistance, like you mentioned. We retook this candle hasn't closed just yet, but it does look like this week is starting with the 12-hour candle retaking the 200 moving average. I do have mine open. We were oscillating around that, Krisha, bringing in a bear flag. Failed to see any continuation around that 200 moving average. So the 12-hour 200 moving average, right, was essentially a accumulation zone. It seems like it, because we do have this push towards the upside. In my opinion, this has broken the downtrend on the bear side, on the 12-hour time frame. It has broken the downtrend. It's not started an uptrend, but has broken the downtrend. Right. That's where it gets really interesting. If we can defend 51,272 over the next couple of 12-hour candles, and then we take out the current high of this 12-hour candle, which is coming in at 53k, right? This is where the Ichimoku is going to see its power, guys. If we now see the 12-hour candles start accumulating along the edge of the Ichimoku as we start going further into the Ichimoku Cloud, right? And the Tenkin Kijun start coming down aggressively. And then by that time, if we can retake the Tenkin, the Kijun, the top of the cloud, as well as this major horizontal here at 53.289.
Yeah.
That 12-hour time frame is going to flip to a bullish trend towards the upside. Okay. Now the bears are really going to be sweating, and some of them are going to take down even more shots, right? So that's a 12-hour. 12-hour is beginning to get really interesting for the bulls. Now this is where it'll get even more interesting, and Kush, I do believe you were watching this time frame in the morning yourself, and this is the 4-hour time frame. And that's the most bullish thing right now going on for the bulls. This is a really nice candle, really aggressive. It completely broke the downtrend that the bears had. We are putting in a symmetrical triangle over the weekend, guys, and this is exactly the kind of structure I look for a reversal. By the way, the initial etchings of a reversal, where you put in a symmetrical triangle or an ascending triangle, and then before giving the really good trade, right? And this is something we talk about in the Mango C program. Look at what happened on that wick, Krisha, the last 4-hour candle prior to the green candle. We went and took out the lows, right? We talked about this in detail in the order flow module, guys. So if you guys are in the seed program, go ahead now and rewatch that module if those concepts need refreshing. Because these are the kind of things that are strong edge that a lot of new market participants miss, okay? They miss it. And to me, this is a big clue. Because remember, that's what we're doing over here as traders, as analysts. We are trying to figure out clues to get a bullish bias either on one direction or the other. And then we have our invalidation points, okay? So to me, Krisha, this is looking really good. And look at that level that the 4 hours looking to then retest. It's coming at around 51.3K.
Yeah. And man, that I'm just looking at the wick, Sean. That was such a freaking ridiculous liquidity hunt right there.
That was bullish.
It is bullish. It is freaking bullish right now. And I mean, also notice one more thing. If you just put on your 21 EMA, now this is something that I like looking for signatures, right? Now you'll notice that ever since Bitcoin actually broke down, we sort of used that 21 Tenkin as resistance. Okay, now this is the breakdown from that 60K region. This is the first time ever since its breakdown that we've actually managed to take it back.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's a lot sort of happening here. Sorry, Sean, just a quick sort of side. Guys, please don't spam. Okay, we're gonna get to not all the altcoins, but the important ones that you guys suggest in the chat. But do not spam, please. Don't spam.
If you guys spam, I'm less likely to take a request, just as an FYI. If you guys do ask nicely and politely and not too frequently, we are more likely to take those requests. Okay, so Krisha, you're completely right. That 21 EMA was plaguing Bitcoin throughout the consolidation. The bulls were looking to break it and they couldn't, right? Now we have both. So the 21 EMA, by the way, Krisha, was aggressively angling, sloping towards the downside, showing us that the trend was down, right? It was an accumulation of shorts that was going on along that 21 EMA. Now the 21 EMA has actually started angling towards the upside. We have the Tenkin coming in underneath price 2. This is beginning to look good. I'll be looking for that move towards the Kijun eventually, actually sooner than later, to be honest. But it's not enough. It's not enough for me because the 4-hour may reverse trend, guys, long enough for the daily to put in its lower high on a more aggressive stance, right? So this daily may see 2 good candles, right? I'm going to switch on over to the daily time frame, Krisha. You may see 2 really good candles getting all the way up to around the Tenkin or the 21 EMA, right? And then put in a high low over the next 2 days back around 51 to 52,000. What I'm trying to say here essentially is, I'm not trying to scare you guys. What I'm trying to say is, do not look for a complete candle reversal to 60,000, 70,000 without any pullbacks whatsoever. Way too many people were looking for those kind of moves because they saw altcoins pump into resistance, and then they started taking over leverage trades into resistance. Similarly, right now, guys, know that on the mid time frames and the lower time frames, we do have resistance overhead. Okay, that is significant. That's going to be key. My goal is going to be to essentially play the ranges from the bottom towards the upside. So essentially I'll be selling into those resistance levels. If I'm selling into those resistance levels, you can bet that the bears will also be taking shots on those levels. They'll be looking to rearm themselves if they did take profits, so like reload on the shots, position high, position even stronger, or they'll be looking to just add to their trades because they're confident that this is the top of the market. So be careful. Thoughts, Krisha?
No, I agree with you. I'm just going through the chat right now, Sean, to see. I'm surprised, like, so many of you are not interested in Bitcoin right now. Why? The thing is that you guys need to understand that even if it's Cardano, Binance Coin, whatever it is that you're looking at, it is going to be dictated by what Bitcoin does here. If Bitcoin actually has continuation to the downside, there's a very, very strong chance that the coins that you guys are looking at, which is also in the high M caps, they're also going to take that leg to the downside. This is the first read. This right here is the first read. I don't care what freaking altcoin you guys are looking at. This right here is the first read. Keep your eyes peeled on Bitcoin because that was one of the major mistakes that I made in the last bull market. And that costed me a lot of money unnecessarily. Okay, so this is important. Oh, and Mock is here.
Yeah, Mock is going to help us.
He's the dictator around here. He's gonna set everyone straight.
Exactly. So, going back to what you're saying about people not being interested in Bitcoin, Kishore, I found that to be not entirely true. While there are people in here who are just immature and spamming their altcoins, there are the silent people who aren't. They're listening to us, right? They're not. Yeah. They're listening to the actual content, and they're not too concerned with actually spamming like little immature little babies on the chat, because they're listening and learning, right? So that's what I realized over time, that all we can really do is say that, hey, you know what, there are people in the Mango Seed who really want the Bitcoin analysis. They rely on understanding Bitcoin to be able to understand the altcoin markets, just like we do, right? We rely on understanding Bitcoin, and we saw the effects that Bitcoin can have on the market around the zone over here when we broke 60k to 50k, and that's exactly what I told people the days leading towards that dump. I said, guys, listen, Bitcoin's looking weak over here, and I just do not see altcoins doing spectacularly well if we break that 4-hour level underneath 53k. And what happened when we broke that 4-hour level underneath 53k? We saw all the altcoins dump hard, right? And the people who refuse to learn throughout all these years that we've been talking about how Bitcoin will continue to lead the market until we see otherwise, right? They felt the pain. They got their accounts liquidated, and they're not here anymore, right? While the people who listened, they were freaking partying all weekend because they made a killing on those opportunities, because what they ended up doing was they got out of their altcoins and repositioned on the dump. So now they're happy as hell, because look at the pumps altcoins got after that. So while we'll get people who don't care, there are a lot of people who are silent and not spamming that do care. So it's harder said than done, but we kind of gotta like keep them in mind and, you know, keep doing this for their sake.
Okay, no, you are absolutely right, 100%.
Okay, so so we were talking about how this 4-hour is looking fantastic. So general gist, guys, is that the lower time frames. Okay, let me put it this way. Going into the weekend, we did not like the lower time frames and the mid time frames, and we said that, hey, this is going to likely cascade on over to the higher time frames, which is what happened, right? The daily wasn't looking good and the 4-hour wasn't looking good, and we broke down and it cascaded onto the weekly. Now, guys, through a trend analysis perspective, we are looking for the opposite. Okay, the 4-hour is now looking good. The 12-hour is now looking good. The question is, can the bulls make this cascade onto the higher time frames? The reason I am not shorting is because as long as we are in a bull market, which I believe we are in a bull market, right? I've been saying this over and over again. I do not want to be on the I don't want to be against the bulls. Okay, I want to be on the side of the bulls, and I want to play that momentum with me. So I will continue to play the range. I won't play the trend. I'll play the long range, but I'll be selling my profits into the weekly and the 4-day and the 3-day structures, right? So that's how I'm going to be doing it. And Krisha, the 4 hours ripping as we speak, looking really good.
Nice.
Okay, so general gist, guys. 4-hour is looking really good. So it's not looking good just yet. Remember, we did break out of a bear structure. It's beginning to turn around. Okay, I want to see that higher low, because this, by the way, guys, is not confirmed. We could just simply V bottom down, right? Just break down and break right underneath 47k, and that will break all the hopes and dreams of the bulls. We've not done that just yet, so let's wait for a couple of 4-hour candles. So 4 hours beginning to reverse, 12 hours beginning to reverse. Daily is still bad to me, and the weekly is still bad to me. All right, so that's what I have to say. Monthly still freaking bullish. Monthly is still bullish, so macro still bullish. We are in a bull market. Misha, do you want to switch on over to the dashboard quickly and see what the dashboard's saying before we go on over to the alts?
Sure. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Let's do that. Yeah, my dashboard open. Actually,
how was everyone's weekend, by the way?
Yeah, let's talk to the chat a little bit.
Yeah,
we've been kind of doing a deep analysis. Who do we have? We have BT in here. We have William Tucker. How's it going? We have Amira in here as well. How's it going, Amira? Francis Legaspi. Hey, how's it going? Bob is here. How's it going, Bob? How are you, man? How are you? Good to see you, bud. He made it. I thought Bob wasn't gonna make it today because we did the stream a lot earlier. Holy spam Batman! What the hell just happened? Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Mark, by the way, for handling the spam and helping out with the chat live stream. Really helps, man. Really helps. It becomes such a pain to do this without you. So thank you so much. Like, I don't know whether I'd be able to do this without you guys. So Old Man and Mark are both in here. Good to see you guys. Garima's in here too, Krisha.
Oh, no, I saw Garima. I didn't know Old Man was in here.
Old Man's in here too. Yeah, I think he has to go pick up his kids
awesome.
or something. AJ Smalls is in here and Sandeep is in here. How's it going, Sandeep? How's it going, AJ? And Francis as well. So yeah, we have a few seedlings in here. Francis, by the way, is a brand new seedling, I do believe, right, Krisha?
Yes.
Yep, we have to get him into the seed chat very soon.
Yes. I'll reach out to you today, Francis.
Mystery Mask, how's it going, buddy?
Also, guys, hit that like button. How many of you guys are in here? Hit the like button. Where is the mango love?
Yeah, show Mango some love.
265 watching and only 56 likes? Come on!
All right. Okay, Kusha, I do have my dashboard open. I'm looking at the daily time frame. Okay, well, let me switch. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at the 4-hour time frame actually. Let's start with the daily because we'll go through the analysis kind of. Okay, you know what? Let's go with the 4-hour. Bitcoin 4-hour did switch neutral 1 hour ago. So that's lining up. Ethereum, Krisha, is actually long. That'll be interesting. I do want to look at Ethereum right after. So Bitcoin's neutral and Ethereum's long. It's telling us right off the bat, right? You can make a conclusion out of that. You can infer that Ethereum is the better trade right now. And we'll go ahead and check out the ETHBTC chart to confirm that. In fact, let's look at ETHBTC. ETHBTC was long 5 hours ago on your it's up 6%, but you're not up for the day, right? Because when the long signal came, it was pretty much, it's back where it is. 12-hour time frame. Bitcoin is still short on the 12-hour time frame. Okay, cool. This is lining up with what we're saying, right? The 12 hours beginning to look good, or rather, it did make a move, but it's not as good as the 4-hour. The 4-hour has switched from short to neutral, which is great. The daily, I'm gonna say it's still short. Yeah, daily short right there, and the 2-day is neutral. Okay, over the 4-day, 4 days neutral. Okay, cool. That's what we're looking for, essentially, that the higher time frames have gone into consolidation, right? The 4-day, the weekly is probably in neutral too. Yeah, okay, Kusha, this is essentially what we're talking about through our structural analysis as well, right? It's lining up with what the dashboard is saying, and we want that confluence, that the 4-hour that was short has now begun to switch to neutral. We want to see that high low, and then we want to see the trend reverse. It'll be interesting to see whether that actually reverses on the dashboard as well. That will give us confirmation for a short-term trade towards the upside. The 12 hours still short, so you don't want to be holding trades for too long. Is what this is telling you. It's telling you that, hey, the mid time frames are still consolidating. So until the 12 hour starts going long, you don't want to be holding on to your trades for too long, guys. Okay, because this will see smackdowns. And daily short as well. So essentially lining up with what we talked about. What's your read from the dashboard, Krisha, whether it be Bitcoin or anything else?
So Bitcoin right now, I mean, the dashboard is pretty much telling us that on those lower time frames, we're seeing the 4-hour flip, right? So the 4-hour is currently neutral, right? However, the daily, guys, is still short. So it's telling us that, you know what, that trend is not really gotten up to the daily just yet. So what we want to see here is that cascading sort of effect. We want to see the 4-hour turn long, and then the 12-hour, and then consequentially the daily time frame, right? But also, Sean, I'm looking at something like Ethereum, right? Ethereum is, it's blowing my mind right now. Even that, I'll be honest with you guys, like I did some sort of preliminary analysis on ETH, and ETH is actually looking really good, and the dashboard actually reflects that. ETH/USDT is neutral, unlike Bitcoin that is short on the daily time frame. ETH/USDT is actually giving us a neutral trend change there.
Right before the stream, guys, Kusha was like, Sean, we gotta buy Ethereum. Sean, we gotta buy more Ethereum. She gets like an excited little puppy when she sees everything line up with her system.
Yeah.
Kusha and I have completely different trading systems, so it's great when we both have the same read on chart, and that's not believe me, guys, it's not often that we are both at the same time saying, hey, you know what, it's looking really good over here, right? We have conflicting ideas, and sometimes I'm like, I'd rather wait, and sometimes she's like, she'd rather wait. You guys have seen that, right? Kusha and I have come on here and have had actual debates with each other sometimes on structural analysis. So
yeah,
so Kusha,
those are always fun though.
Yeah, I think that's where the most of the learning opportunity comes to for the audience. Kusha, you know what I want to do? I want to go ahead and just switch to the Bitcoin pairing filter. I want to just get a gauge of how the altcoins are doing, and you can tell, right, that the altcoins have done pretty well compared to how Bitcoin's still short on the on its daily time frame. The altcoins are long, neutral, long. There's only a few shorts that I have on over here. I want to see what the 12 hour saying. A lot of longs on the 12 hour. The 2-day, most are long. Okay, so the high time frame altcoins are actually looking better. Like, this is the time, guys, that it's kind of like a hard read. It's a hard read, right? Because when you look at Bitcoin dominance, let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin dominance from here. Again, we're all over the place, guys, but hey, this is what we get, Mango. We do it the stress-free way, the relaxed way, and you're getting a peek into our mind while we break down the charts. Okay.
Yeah. Bitcoin dominance, I was looking at it. I think we sort of smacked up against support, and we're seeing a level of support. However, I mean, it's too weak right now to tell. Right?
So
but
this is where it gets interesting on Bitcoin
Yeah.
dominance, right? If you put in a horizontal, can you see my screen? I'm just gonna wait for the chat.
I can see your screen.
Do you see that bull flag that I have drawn? Because the chart is sometimes delayed, right? So I'll wait for you to see that on my Bitcoin dominance.
Okay. What time frame are you on?
I'm on the weekly at the moment, all right? So I have a bull flag breaking up all the way back from around 27th August 2018,
Okay.
2019.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
So I have a zone marked around there, underneath the flag, but there's a horizontal over there that you can mark through candle closes at around 53.06.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, you can see how we plowed right through it. We retested that level, but we failed to close above it. Okay.
Yeah.
Last week, and now we're coming and testing this next level. Now this level, Krisha, is actually a monthly support on Bitcoin. So it gets really interesting and difficult because we broke a key weekly level. Okay, that was the break up point for Bitcoin, for the bulls, right? For Bitcoin dominance. Well, the altcoins are now just retaking that level back. If it breaks past this zone too, underneath 49, Jesus, what are we looking at then? All Bitcoin dominance coming down all the way to around 40 to 37?
Pretty much. I mean, it's gonna get like, okay, so what that is really gonna tip me off. I can't really speak of volatility on something like Bitcoin dominance, right? It's essentially gonna tip me off on the alts wanting to take that crazy run.
Exactly. So I believe though, Krisha, that it's gonna happen a lot faster than people expect though. So
yeah,
it's time to sit up, guys. It's time to freaking sit up and keep your eyes open, because we're doing one of two things right now. We're going to go on a massive tear on altcoins, or we're going to go on a massive bounce on Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance, right? Which means that altcoin, we're going to see a lot of money flow from altcoins into Bitcoin, okay, or new money at the very least come into Bitcoin while altcoins get ignored. And I don't that's not the read I'm getting at the moment. Okay, I would love to be wrong, because you guys know I'm a Bitcoin bull, but at the end of the day, I'm more of a make money bull, and that could mean shorting the market on a bear market too, right? I'm bullish on the bears. So Bitcoin dominance at the moment at a very interesting juncture, okay, because I've been looking at this structure was the W that broke up, that started the Bitcoin dominance. The bulls lose this, or rather the Bitcoin dominance bulls lose this. Altcoins is where it's going to be at, like Kusha mentioned. Kusha, Ethereum or Cardano now?
Ethereum. Hands down Ethereum. Ethereum is actually looking stronger than Cardano right now.
Alright, so what I'm going to do before we do start with Ethereum, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick little intermission break, because we are about to hit the 1 hour mark, and I do want to refresh my drink. I do have a dry mouth at the moment. So Kusha and I will be back with you guys in a second.
Yep, we will be going over those alts next, so it's going to be exciting.
See you soon, guys. Alright, I'm back. Let's go ahead and get this started. Let me go ahead and see if Krisha is here. Go ahead and unmute her. Krisha, are you here?
I am here. Imagine we could actually have that, Sean. You know, you could have a mute button for me.
Oh yeah, in real life? Oh man, that'd be so nice. with remote
I thought
control
it sounded
too.
so funny.
Oh man, you're making me dream. You're making me dream. Alright, so what are we starting with? Ethereum, Krisha? Ethereum USD, Ethereum BTC? You get to pick as our special guest today.
Oh, definitely ETHUSD first and then get on to FBDC. But before we begin, I just want to give a big, I was going through the chat just now, and I just want to give a big shout out to Danny Boardwell.
Ooh.
I mean, he's come such a long way. I mean, I'm looking at some of the replies he's been giving to this guy named Zach in the chat, and it's just so mature.
Oh yeah.
He's talking about Bitcoin, how Bitcoin is, you know, he says Bitcoin is a store of value. Being able to buy a whole coin isn't the point. The goal is to buy more and more of it. Trade the alt with a small part of your portfolio, but build your Bitcoin bags.
Wow, that's a drastic mind shift from Danny over here compared to when he first joined the Mango Discord, the public chat, and Danny is now a Mango seedling. I'm looking at his reply over here too. He says it's more complex than that. The market movers are making money when the market goes up, and when the markets go down, they drive the price down so that they can get above. This guy knows now, right? He's understanding at a quick pace. So while we have a lot of people who are eager to learn, Danny has a combination of both. He's eager to learn and he's absorbing it on a more visceral level, right? He understands what's going on now, so it's good. Danny, you're impressing me, man. Impressing me. Really good to hear about.
That was really awesome, man.
Yeah. So he understands the TA and the FA, right? The technical analysis and the FA, and that's when I tell you guys, when TA and FA collide, when you understand what's going on between the fundamentals between your from your TA, and I'm not talking about fundamentals on the coin and who the CTO is and what mainnet is coming out. I'm not talking about that. The fundamental reasons behind why markets move is what's important, right? That is key, and that's what we teach over here at Mango. So yeah, big shout out to you, Danny. Big shout out. All right, so Kusha, I do have ETHUSD over here. I have it on the monthly time frame, and it is just amazing to just think back to those months when we were like, it's been a lot. It doesn't feel like it, but a lot of months have passed. Especially when I look at each one of these monthly candles, you go like, oh man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. It doesn't feel like we were collecting Ethereum around $290 to $310. That was when we were getting really bullish on Ethereum. That was 10 months ago, Krisha. It feels like it was only 3 months ago. Right? A lot of times I think I slip on my analysis when I'm doing the analysis, and I say around 3 months ago we were building the position. No, it's not been 3 months. It's been freaking like 9 months, 3x that time. So things in the crypto world, things are so exciting that you don't see time pass by. But yeah, Ethereum has come a long way. Bitcoin has come a long way. But again, I want to highlight you guys the power of watching the higher time frames, right? We were able to spot this great opportunity on the monthly time frame back then, and Ethereum has been on a tear since then. Back then, I was calling for around 5,000. So initial target, of course, was 1,400, then 2,000, 3,000. I was calling for all the way up to 5,000 at the time, and people thought I was nuts. Now that doesn't seem too nutty anymore, right? We're only 2x away. This is one of my key junctures. Kusha, I'm looking for around 3,000, 3,500 before I reevaluate Ethereum next. I'm liking what I'm seeing. What are your general thoughts on Ethereum before we dive in?
I just have one thought on this chart right now, and it is freaking bullish. So, you know, I was looking at the monthly time frame. So this was, I think, a couple of weeks ago. I sort of identified a very critical region of support that came in at around 2,200. Just to round, I'm rounding down here. Just a quick heads up.
Okay.
So it appears now, if you just plot a line there, get on over to your daily time frame. I mean, all of you guys can go ahead.
Okay,
and do
wait.
this, right?
Before we do that, hold that thought.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. I do want to look at the dashboard because that's what we just came.
Oh.
Okay, I wanna segue into this because we were just looking at the dashboard. Prior to this, okay, so I'm switching on over to the dashboard. I want to go through all the time frames first, and So with Bitcoin, what we did was we did the analysis first, and then when we look to see whether the dashboard matches our analysis, right? Let's do it the other way around now. We'll go ahead and look at Ethereum first, and then look at the dashboard first, and then look at Ethereum on the charts. Okay, so I'm going to filter out ETH/USD, ETH/BTC. I'm looking at the daily at the moment, Kushal. And the ETH Bitcoin chart has been long for 24 days. Okay, that's my read. It's been long for 24 days, and you're up 40%. So essentially, you do nothing, you stay in the ETH BTC trade. Well, you had to do nothing. The ETH USD trade switched from long to neutral 5 days ago. That essentially says that combination I can read together, right? I can be like, okay, ETH BTC has stayed long, but ETH USD has switched long 5 days ago, around the time Bitcoin dumped. So we have a situation over here where the USD pairing is being pulled down by Bitcoin's USD movement, right?
Yeah.
What it's telling us is that ETH/BTC, however, is still freaking really, Ethereum, however, is the stronger asset over the past 3 weeks now. It's been the stronger asset to be in over the past 3 weeks, and that is indicative by how you've got 40% on your returns, right? So if the goal is to collect Bitcoin, well, you've done really well over there. That's the daily. The 12-hour Kusha is saying pretty much the same thing. It switched long actually 5 days. Ooh, that was an opportunity. So the 12 hours telling us that when the USD pairing dumped, that was the opportunity to get into the ETH/BTC trade, and that makes sense, right?
Yes.
Huh.
You know, funny enough, it was actually the dashboard. So remember a couple of weeks ago, I told you, I came up to you, I came into your office and I said, Sean, I think it's time we start looking at Ethereum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
yep.
And it was actually the dashboard that tipped me off. It was the FBD flipped on the dashboard. And I'm just like, huh, that's interesting. So that's when it sort of prompted me to go and look into my system. And that's when, so I have a specific system, guys, just for Ethereum.
Yeah.
Okay, just to trade Ethereum. And so that's what prompted me to go and look into my system to see if everything checks out. And everything did after a very, very long time.
I remember that. I remember that morning.
Yeah.
Kusha was really bullish on Ethereum, and I was already in an Ethereum position. I was actually taking profits on my Ethereum position the next couple of days. So I was letting go of some of my Ethereum trade. So you guys are seeing an example of how our systems conflict, or rather on opposite ends sometimes. So Kusha was getting the signal to strengthen, and I was saying, you know what, I'm de-risking a little bit. And ETH/BTC, however, has just freaking kept ripping. So
yeah, so that went off, but the first thing was I got it on the dashboard. Yeah.
So yeah, the dashboard on 12 hours basically gave you the call to buy the dip, right? And you guys are seeing how you can use now holistic analysis to get a booster to your trade, right? If you see the dip and you're seeing, hey man, should I be buying this dip? Well, now you can see how you use multiple time frame analysis to your advantage. So let me switch back over here. Let's look at the 4 hour, and the 4 hour did switch long 6 hours ago. So Ethereum does have the short to midterm momentum going for it on the Bitcoin pairing, definitely. But the ETH/USD pairing, Kusha, is long as well now, and it switched 2 hours ago. That is really interesting. Okay, that's really interesting. I want to see what the 2-day is saying on it. Okay, so ETH/USD, Kusha, on the 2-day, and ETH/BTC have both been long. So if you're playing the high time frames, again, doing it the Mango way, Ethereum has been the better trade to be in over Bitcoin, period, primarily because you didn't have to do anything. You literally just stay in your trade for the past 3 weeks and do nothing and not care about all these lower time frame fluctuations. So you get to go to work, enjoy your day with your family in the evenings, and only on the 2-day mark, right, every second day, come and check for the trend reversal. Check the charts as well, guys. Don't just look don't look only at the dashboard. Don't ever trade anything in isolation. Okay? So I like what the dashboard's saying on Ethereum. The daily is neutral, like we checked. The 2-day. What about the 4-day? The 4-day is long too still. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. That's really interesting. Okay, I'm going to switch to the charts now, and where we left off, you said plot a horizontal at around 2,200. You said?
Yes. So I was looking at that $2,200 region. Okay, now this is a monthly. Oh my god, my charts are so messy.
Oh yeah.
It's like I just pan on.
I hate Kusha charts.
I just pan on over to my chart. I'm like,
ouch. Oh my God. Okay, wait. That 2,200 level, Krisha. We're putting in an ascending triangle on that.
Yeah. So we consolidated on that region, right?
Yeah.
And what was really cool is that we put in like this nice, beautiful consolidation on it that had, if I'm not wrong, it had a series of higher lows. Okay.
Yeah.
And it appears that we've sort of broken out of it right now.
So this turned bullish immediately when we took out the high over the weekend, I believe it was, of around, what was the high? 2,546, right? And that was my target. So if you guys do remember, all the way back when Ethereum was still underneath 1,000, I'd given you guys my range of targets. One of my targets was specifically 2,555, right? I was very specific. In fact, I said something around 2,556 in one of the videos. And it's interesting, we got up to 2,546 on that high. We took out that high. And that was the first indication of me saying, you know what, yes, Sean, you've begun to take profits on a trade, but now also get mentally ready to start adding to your trade again. Okay, get ready to get back in. Okay, because I'm just waiting now 4 more days before I get aggressive on the theme yet again. Okay, at least on my mid time frame trades, but on my long time frame trades, I wouldn't be too. I'd be looking to buy, like Krisha and I were talking about this morning. We're looking to be buyers of Ethereum somewhere around here. I do want to give Charlie a thank you for the super chat. He says, hey guys, CRE looking ready to move up. In fact, CRE was one of the coins that the seedlings have been discussing recently. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at that. One of our superstar seedlings has been, I think, on that trade. It's been doing fantastic. So we'll take a look at that before we take a look at Cardano. All right, Krisha, please try to remind me because I may forget. But Charlie, don't hesitate to remind me on the chat if I do forget. So Krisha, that's ETHUSD. We have the 2,200 level on the daily time frame. Are there any other time frames you're looking at?
No, just that one for now. I mean, it appears that we have a break, right? Although I'll say that I know people, they usually look for volume on the break, but because, guys, that macro trend right now, that prevailing trend is a bullish trend, sometimes you're going to see the breaks of these nice consolidations, okay? But you're not going to see that volume that you're looking for. And as long as the break is towards the side of the prevailing trend, I don't give volume that much precedent. It's only if there's a bearish break when the prevailing trend is bullish. Yep. It's only on the bearish break where I will actually sort of give volume consideration.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. So you guys are seeing seedling 0, student number 0.
Yes.
Understand how to actually use volume right over here, because a lot of people use volume wrong, right? They'll say, hey, there's no volume, price is going up. No, actually that's more bullish than it is bearish, because they don't understand context. Context matters, especially when looking at volume. So Krisha, we do have a beautiful ascending triangle over here on the daily. On my chart, at the very least, I have a zone with like essentially the top of the range, middle of the range, and the bottom of the range, all marked out as zones here, and that's just purely through looking at multiple time frames, right? So we're looking at the daily, the weekly, monthly, and these horizontals have been put in place. We're at the middle of the zone over here, lighting up exactly what you discussed, 2,200. So my level was at 2,275, lining up with your mid zone as well.
Yeah.
And the bottom of the zone, 19,445. We did come and test higher over the weekend. We tested 2,000, Krisha. Right, we saw support over there. That was really bullish. That the $2,000 mark was looked at as support by the market participants. Just think about that psychology. We flipped 2,000, we broke towards the upside, and it was looked at as support, not as, oh my god, this is far too heavy of a price. So that's bullish. And then we put in a new high, and now it looks like we're putting an ascending triangle. If I see candle closes, 2 candle closes at around 2,522 and up, I'll be looking for a strong continuation, Krisha, to my target of around 3,000. My eventual target, 3,500, will be on its way next. But that's when I really look to evaluate whether or not we want to see the immediate continuation to 5,000, which is my long-term target, or we are going to see a better allocation of the trade in either Bitcoin or perhaps some other altcoins. Read?
3K is definitely next up. In fact, okay, maybe I'm being slightly, perhaps overly bullish here, but I'm looking for that 2500, right? If we even see like consecutive daily candle body closes over 2500, I'm looking for 3K as the next target.
Next target. Okay.
Next target. 3K at the very least.
Yeah, same here. To me, the question is going to be at around 35K. Sorry, 3.5K. 3.5K, what does the theme look like? That's when I want to re-evaluate. But yeah, if we do break 2.5K, 3K is almost a guaranteed trade. Okay. So that's Ethereum USD on the daily. Do you want to look at the lower time frames or just switch to the Bitcoin pairing, Krisha?
No, I think we switched to the Bitcoin pairing because the lower time frames is just, I mean, the lower time frames is likely going to end up looking bullish too, right? But it is this picture right here, the daily, guys, the daily and the weekly right now on ETH. Your eyes need to be peeled on these two time frames because it's going to be the biggest tip off for you. Okay,
I completely agree. So I've switched on over to the Bitcoin pairing, Krisha, on the weekly time frame, and my oh my, this is a sight. But you can't get too bullish on this because the theme has done some massive fake outs in the past, especially on its weekly time frames. So you got to be a little bit more careful. But I think that fake out is done. I think we already had the fake out, and we had like around 2 weeks of just bearishness. Not bearishness, consolidation. That was the wrong word to use. And sorry, I'm looking at the daily time frame. Apologies, guys. I did mean the daily time frame. So the past few days now, we've been consolidating. Krisha, would you call this a cup and handle that's broken towards the upside?
What time frame are you looking at?
I'm looking at the daily at the moment.
FBDC on the daily, huh? Give me 1 second. I need to see some confirmation. No, it's it. I'll be honest with you. I'll just be, tugging on to nothing here. If I have to look at a cup and handle, I'm not seeing the volume confirmation, but hey, you know what? It could be something. I'm just looking at the macro sort of pattern that we have playing out on FBDC that I'm sure everyone's sort of caught by now, and I'm sure I know you caught it too, Sean. Was that rising, broadening wedge?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
But that's all I see, and right now we're threatening the upper bound of that wedge.
So you know my stance on patterns. I don't really care too much for them. But to me, the structure I'm looking at over here that is really important is the candle close highs coming in all the way from the weeks of Feb, right? The beginning weeks of Feb, and going all the way down, rounding off, right? We put in that W-like structure, consolidated against it again, bull flag, break up, bull flag, break up, bull flag against the top of the structure over here now, where we've been consolidating over the past like 5 days, like a week or so, against those highs at around 0.045. Now, the psychology, right? You could zoom out and look at the volume. We had descending volume coming in, descending volume coming in with a break, and now again consolidation volume, but higher volume, right? Which is psychologically what you'd be looking for through a cup and handle. A big rounding formation, a break, and then consolidation above the structure. So again, it's not the cleanest of pictures, but I would be looking for a massive move over here now, at least to around 0.55.
I agree with you with that. So just a quick heads up, I was actually looking at the Polo chart when I pulled up at BDC.
Oh, okay.
And I just noticed that you're looking at Binance. If you look at the volume on Binance, I think that's more reminiscent of that of cup and handle, or even a rounded bottom of sorts, right? However, the measured move of both would sort of technically be the same. But no, I see what you're saying. If you're looking at it on Binance, it definitely has a volume profile, and Binance I think would be the better source to look at. I sort of pull up Polo because of the
price
chart
history
on it.
But in terms of volume, Binance would be more legit.
I think, Binance would be more legit. Definitely.
I agree. Okay, so LBC looking really, really good. Retesting a structural level right now at around 0.0465 on the daily. We can go ahead and look at the weekly now, and the weekly is around the same level, right? Those highs that we essentially were just talking about all the way back from that week of Feb. We retook that I'll be looking for like a proper retest of that wick on the weekly. I'm not sure whether we get that, or Ethereum has the genetic footprint of simply going from one resistance level to the other resistance level without people giving much of a chance. So, Krisha, I'm looking at a level around 0.055 here on the weekly. That is the M-like structure that we broke down that ensued the bear market for Bitcoin all the way from 2018. Well, leading to somewhere around, I would say, here, around 3rd Feb 2020.
Yeah. But now check this out, Sean. Put on your Ichimoku Cloud. Stay on the weekly. You're on the weekly currently, right? Put on your cloud.
On Binance?
On Binance, yeah.
Yeah, this is what I was looking at. Yeah, no, I was, yeah. So we tested the top of the cloud to the freaking dot on at BTC on the weekly. Edge to edge, beautiful edge to edge. Pretty much gave you 2 edge to edge trades, right? Each time got the rejection of the previous attempt, right? Not getting all the way up there. That is considered a rejection. And then this time around, getting all the way up there. Now the question is, how does this cloud unfold? Do you think now that we have a Kumo break, right? We essentially have a Kumo break. Ooh, what's it looking like on Polo, Krisha? Let me pull it up. Okay, it's the same on Polo, and we've taken back. This is interesting. We've taken the 200 moving average as well, Krisha. The 200 moving average on the weekly time frame. This is the first time we're breaking above it. Right, we've tested multiple times over the past, well, almost 2 years now, right? Oh, well, 1 year, August 2020, coming all the way to 2021, April. This is huge. This is showing that the long-term trend is beginning to reverse on Bitcoin, and this is indicating that we're still in the middle of the market. We just reversed the trend. On altcoins, at least the major altcoin, Ethereum, and we may see a few months of this. This would get ridiculous, and people, this is the kind of thing where you look back at the monthly, and you ask yourself, damn, why did I not see this trade? Right? Why did I not see this trade? We should turn on a monthly on Ethereum, and you're going to see something that's going to make you go, wow.
Oh,
that's what I'm waiting for. That's the easy trade right over there, right? I don't need to get impatient. I just need to wait for the same trade that we took on the ETHUSD chart is now going to be showing up on the ETHBTC chart. And this is going to be, again, remember guys how I showed you that, hey, 9 months have passed since we took our ETHUSD trade at 290, 300. People thought we were crazy calling for 5,000 levels, and now we're almost there, right? 2x away from 5,000. Now we're seeing something similar on the ETH-BTC chart. This may take time to play out, but in my opinion, the next few months are going to be really good for the Ethereum holders against Bitcoin. Okay, so I want to see how this plays out. Do we close above? Do we confirm the next monthly candle above? That's how you slowly build your trade, and don't get tunnel vision on, oh man, it's already moved so much, blah blah blah. It won't feel like it's moved so much from here when you're taking the trade from here to here, right? That's a good 150% more if it does get back up to its all-time highs against Bitcoin. If it gets back up there, right? We don't know, but we can take the trades as we find out more information.
Agree. Also, I mean, we're testing. I'm going to say testing, even though we're sort of living over this region of resistance right now. The monthly has yet to close. Now, we close the monthly in about 4 days. If we actually close along this region, Ethereum takes out a multi-year region of resistance against Bitcoin, and that is worth noting.
So, Krisha, I just marked out the zone on the monthly time frame, right? And as soon as you said we're closing the monthly on the 4-day time frame, so go ahead and do it on your chart. Mark out between 0.043 and 0.04ish, right? So 0.0396 to be a little bit more, okay. And then as soon as you mentioned we're closing the monthly in 4 days, I switched on over to the Mango time frame, the 4-day time frame, and just pan on over to my chart if you can. And look at that perfect retest. So on the first time we broke it, right? That was the fake out I was talking about, guys. Where I was looking for the continuation, guys, and we did not see it. That's when I started turning bearish on ETH-BTC midterm, right? This time we've broken it again on the 4-day time frame, but this time around, on the retest, we are seeing support. Last time around, we plowed right through it, and we saw a rejection of the zone right after. This time around is the opposite. This is looking fantastic. This is looking really good. I'll be looking for the next move to 547.
Yeah.
Oof, looking great, looking great.
Eth on fire. Definitely keep your eyes peeled on this one, okay? And this may be your tip off on the rest of the altcoins as well. There are quite a few actually that are looking extremely good. Well, earlier today when I saw that weekly close. But before we get into other things, you want to jump on over to CRV, Sean?
CRV, yes, thank you. Almost forgot.
For Charlie.
Charlie Abbott, how are you, buddy? So let's go CRV. See what's going on here. The Bitcoin pairing on the 4 days, not what I want to see. I'll be honest with you. It is rounding off over here.
Check out the weekly though, Sean.
All right, let's go. Yeah, let's see. I'm going to remove my lines.
I like the weekly. I'll be honest. I like the fact that it's putting in a series of it's sort of maintaining that higher low structure. It seems like it wants to put in an ascending triangle of sorts.
Is it though? On the weekly? Oh, you mean the higher lows from... Oh, sorry, I thought you meant low highs. High highs. No, it is putting higher lows. It is putting that rounding structure over here. And you could be hunting for a higher low over here. So Charlie, this is what Krisha is looking at. She's looking at this high. And then she's looking for a new high somewhere around here to break this ascending triangle that we are currently marked out, right? She's looking at this as an ascending triangle and for continuation towards the upside. But that's going to be premised on CRE putting in a higher low where we currently are at. And that would be you hunting for the high low, which is completely fine, especially on the weekly time frame. It is lining up with... Okay, let me go ahead and remove my horizontals again. Just start with clean chart.
Also, Sean, I'm noticing that you're on CRV BDC. I'm looking at the USDT pairing.
Okay, I'm looking at the Bitcoin pairing first.
Yeah.
So, because we're seeing beautiful Bitcoin pairing charts already, right? So I want to see these altcoins do as well as the other altcoins at the very least. But this could reverse. Yeah, so we might be putting in a higher low over here against Bitcoin, Charlie, and this is the structure that Krisha is looking at. So this is what you want. Here's the thing. The easiest trade on CRE is going to be above 7,777 Satoshi. A weekly candle goes above there, and then this is flying all the way to around 180. For a 200% move to around 22,000 Satoshi. So, but you could hunt for a move over here, right? So now let's go ahead and look at the USD pairing. CRE, USDT. Okay. I see what you're seeing now, Krisha. I see. This looks a lot better. We are up against resistance at $3.62. Bull flag. This is a really nice bull flag against that. This is good. Now you couple this, Charlie, with what we saw on the Bitcoin pairing. It gives more credence to the Bitcoin pairing actually having a higher low over there, right, on that weekly time frame. So if this breaks towards the upside, this is going to have a massive move. Looking good. High highs on candle close and on a wick basis, right?
Yeah, if we see a break, this could likely go and test those highs at around $6.85, $7.
Completely agree.
Easy peasy. Mock and Tornado, thank you. You guys have been so awesome with the modding.
Oh, yeah, really appreciate it, guys. Really freaking appreciate it. Let's look at the dynamic. We've not been looking at the dynamic all day today. We should probably do that. Daily is saying consolidation, more for downtrend actually. The weekly is not enough information. The CRV is pretty new, eh? Consolidation, yeah. So if you're playing this as a consolidation and playing that for a higher low, we do have bottom of the cloud support over here on the cloud, on the Mango dynamic. So cloud support coming in right over there. Yeah, you could have, okay, so invalidation points would be underneath the cloud over here, right? I'd be looking at this zone on the USD. I don't want it breaking this area here. If it breaks underneath $2 to $1.94, that would be a bad sign. That'd be a bad sign. In that case, I'd be looking for the downside. It's probably going to line up with Bitcoin making a move. If Bitcoin is going up and you see CRE break this zone towards the downside, it is an ugly sign. In that case, I would just stay away until it starts looking good again. in a bull market, things going up is not in your control, okay? But you can control what happens while things go down, okay? So always think about your downside first, okay?
Yes. Also, 282 watching and only 127 likes. Come on, guys, we're covering alts now. Hit that like button. Let's bring those likes up.
Charlie Abbott says it was ready to break out until Bitcoin took a nap last week. Yeah, a lot of altcoins looked really good, like they were about to pop, and then Bitcoin, like we always say, drives the market, took that move down, right? Which is why Bitcoin was so key to pay attention to, because it was looking weak, and you could have kind of got those clues that, you know what, I don't want to be too exposed to Bitcoin, to altcoins, and reposition. But that being said, yes, a lot of the USD down moves, especially this move over here, right, over the past few days, Kusha, if you switch on over to the 2-day time frame on CRV, in fact on the daily too, on the daily as well, you're going to see it come up and break the major horizontal at around $3.06, right? And then it just crapped itself since then. So if this was because of Bitcoin's move, you can kind of let it slide and look for the next higher low, which I think it might put in, to be honest. So hunting for higher low over there, and then looking for invalidation underneath here, right, and exit the trade if we break underneath there, and looking for this continuation to retest 365 and then up and above to $6. That's what you're looking for. That's the trade setup. Okay, so that's CRV, Krisha. Cardano now.
Yes.
And then we'll wrap up.
Let's give the Cardano fans some juice.
All right, we'll cover XRP tomorrow, guys. Dan has been asking, and Angelo too. Okay, you know, we may cover XRP. Few of you do seem interested.
I mean,
but...
I'm also going to be doing another analysis, right, just on one of the altcoins. I haven't decided which one yet, so if you guys can help me out with that.
Okay, yeah, let's...
Of course, though, it's going to be an altcoin that we do not cover in today's video. Okay, so even if you want to just get into the Discord chat and, you know, give me a thumbs up on one of the altcoins, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, do that, guys. You can join the Discord by typing in on your browser the mangoway.com/discord, right? It'll send you to our Discord chat, and yeah, join our community. We have some really friendly people in there, some really good people in there. So we are a very chilled, relaxed community. There's no condescension allowed. You cannot be condescending, you cannot put people down, you cannot be an elitist, you cannot be arrogant, none of that. Just be a family person in there, because Mango is a family community. Okay, so Cardano, Kusha, I love this shot. I freaking love this shot. I know people think I'm crazy for loving it because I was selling around the 3,000 Satoshi level, right? Well, we got the move down. I ended up, you know, again, when things are in consolidation in the bull market, look for opportunity. And to me, over here, Cardano is ripe for opportunity, especially after the candle we put in the past few days. It was so it was on the 23rd of April, right? Look at the candle, Kusha, on the daily time frame.
Yeah, it's looking good.
It took out all the stops, Kusha, underneath that structure. This is why I tell you guys, like, when you're trading altcoins, you have to be very vigilant for this kind of thing. Very vigilant. So if you're trading the normal way, where you put your stop underneath your invalidation, blah blah, you're going to get wicked out, you lose your position, and bam, you're feeling like crap, right? That's what happened to a lot of traders. Because look at that wick. It came down, took out it looked really ugly at the time. It looked really ugly, right? But you wait for that daily candle close, right? And you've got to have a risk management system that allows for that. And we took out all those lows, closed back above the zone I've been looking at on the weekly time frame. We closed back into it. We did not take it out yet, right? Unfortunately, but we're still holding structure now. Kusha, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, and this, by the way, for all the seedlings. By the way, Ken Kazaji's in here. What's up, man?
How's it going, Ken?
For all the seedlings, that order flow module was actually one of the biggest eye openers for me. From many of the modules out there, the order flow was key when it comes to this kind of price action that we're seeing right now on Cardano, because that's the one that was really going to keep you safe from all of this sort of wick action, kind of really get you to understand what is really happening on the chart, and even in terms of, you know, the market makers tapping into like liquidity and stuff. So exactly. If you have to go over that module again, like there are some that I revisit very often, and order flow is actually one of them. So definitely keep getting your refreshers on that one particular module. It's gonna help. But okay, my thoughts on Cardano. Funny enough, I did an analysis, right, a couple of days ago, and I was looking at the Cardano has not been easy. It's definitely been chopping people out, right, because of the kind of wick action. Because I mean, we have a break to the upside, and then continuation to the downside, another break to the downside, and then the bulls managed to pick it back up.
Yep,
right,
exactly.
but it's sort of, the thing is that it's still ranging. It's still, if you, and this is why zoom out, guys, okay, when you zoom out onto the weekly and stuff, you're likely to be a lot more level-headed when playing Cardano. And the thing is that, Sean, there's a lot of liquidity on this chart.
Exactly.
Okay, so there's a lot more to tap into.
Yep, there's a lot of traders who were getting very impatient with Cardano, very impatient, and they were watching other altcoins pump, and it just the traders who are new, and we all start off new, right? In times like that, they really get tested, right? And they are shown that, hey, damn, a lot of what I know is, or a lot of what I thought I knew, I don't really know, right? It's just luck, right? And that's completely fine, by the way, guys. I always say I just take care of my downside, and every win I get is pure luck. It's just pure luck, right? My wins are luck, my losses are pure risk management, and that's what makes you win it in the long term. So, and this is part of the risk management, right? If I was in the trade on Cardano, for example, I mean, I am in the trade in Cardano, but if I were to get wicked out on the trade on Cardano, that would have been painful. That would have been a loss due to pure risk management or poor risk management, right? So you need to have a proper strategy that focuses more on your risk management than just focusing on trying to make money. I always say that. So now, could I be wrong on this trade on Cardano and lose money? Yeah, I could very well be wrong on that, and I'm completely fine being wrong on the trade and losing money that way. But the moments when you lose money on your trade, even though you're right on the trade idea, that is something you cannot let happen. That is something you cannot let happen. It's fine to be wrong on a trade. It's fine to be completely wrong on an idea, okay, and then lose your position. But if you lose your position when you're right on the idea, that is something you cannot afford, guys. You cannot afford, because you're going to take losses on being wrong. You cannot take losses on being right. That's what I'm trying to say with all of this. You're going to take losses when you are wrong on a trade. Taking losses when you're right on the trade is something that you really need to take a step back and be like, what did I do wrong? You guys do remember there was a video I came out here a while ago, back on Bitcoin, where I messed up, right? We didn't have the dynamic either back then, so it was a lot harder to, I won't say harder, but that the dynamic crutch wasn't available to us. I'd taken a trade on Bitcoin over here at around 10,000 towards the downside. I'd switched bearish, okay, weekly, on the weekly time frame, right at the right time. So I got my trade direction right, my trade timing right, but the third part of the trade I always talk to you guys about, the trade execution, I got that wrong, okay? I made a mistake over there because I got greedy, right? Tried to overtrade it. I tried to like get the bounce, blah blah blah, and I lost out on that trade. And while I didn't lose money on the trade, I lost a massive opportunity, right? This would have been a killing. It would have been killing. It would have essentially meant that I nailed the up move and the down move. I would have been like, oh man, would have been really good. But I missed out on that because, again, my trade execution was wrong. So I was right on the idea, but I got it wrong anyways. So you can't let that happen. You got to sit back, reflect, and learn from it. Okay, don't let it keep happening. Sorry guys, I went off on a tangent over there. My apologies.
These are important lessons because I mean, execution at the end of the day, your TA can be on point if your execution is not on point. That can also cost you. Sean, things are moving up as we speak, eh?
Yeah, as expected.
We're seeing,
I'm not going to be convinced until I see 2 daily candle closes above the level, which we haven't seen yet. Above the level, okay. Let's start over. Okay, let's go to the weekly, Kusha.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a weekly zone that I've been marking out for a while now. It's been a month, right? Ever since Cardano actually took this dip, when it came up to the level at 3,000 Satoshi, I'd marked out this level underneath it at 2,200 to 2,150-ish. Okay, that's a zone I have. we broke back into the zone. We broke underneath the zone. We retested, rejected, and then we broke back into it like around 3 weeks ago. Good, really good. Now we had a really bullish week, but we closed underneath it, unfortunately. Again, we had a really bearish week, but we closed above it, fortunately. So we're consolidating in that range. Now we're again living above it, but we're not closing. The week has 6 days to go. A lot can happen in that interim of 6 days. Can Cardano pull off what Ethereum did against Bitcoin? That's what we want to see. So now we'll switch to the daily time frame, Kusha. And the daily is squeezing in a symmetrical / ascending triangle, call it what you will, but there's a horizontal that is coming in around 2,350 Satoshi. Are you seeing that?
Yes, I have the same one on my chart right now, and I think that's going to be so critical. That is going to be so critical.
So if we break that, and we start closing multiple daily candles, I'm saying multiple daily candles because that weekly is really important to me. If we see multiple daily candle closes above that, then I'm going to feel a lot more bullish on the weekly, but I'll still want to see that weekly candle close. So until then, my trade could very well go into the red, and I may lose on this trade, right? I'm being patient with it, but at some point I have to consider opportunity cost and that, hey, this is taking far too long. So we're at the juncture right now where something needs to happen, and needs to happen in a relatively short time frame, considering I'm playing the weekly on this. Okay, Kusha, what are your thoughts on that? Cardano's on the clock now.
It is. I'm liking the price action so far, and I'm also looking at Cardano USDT. Look at what happened there, right? So this is where okay.
Hold up.
Okay.
Can we just take one more step back to the Cardano Bitcoin pairing? Because I know Kusha loves the USD pairings, but I'm trying to collect Bitcoin. Okay. So the weekly on Cardano, Kusha, look at where the wick came down to. That's what makes me feel even more comfortable about this. But at the same time, look. Oh wait, I have my Mango dynamic on, just as a reference. You have yours on.
I mean, I'll put mine. No, I have mine on. I'm just on the daily time frame. Okay, now I'm on the weekly.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. Look at this. This is where it gets interesting. Look at where the op line, okay, the blue dot, is sitting at. Yeah. Prices come up right against it right now. So that's why I don't want to get too excited just yet. Cardano starts closing weekly candles above that. Okay, then. Okay, that's when I'm like super comfy with this trade, and start looking to add more to the trade, right? But for now, again, I want to see, we're oscillating still. The dynamic was our support zone, and now we're coming against resistance. So let's see how this plays out on the weekly pairing. The daily is in consolidation. The weekly is now switching to consolidation with the last wick down, but we've been in an uptrend for a very long time, all the way since around 900 Satoshi, right? So that was huge. Nice 250% move against Bitcoin. Now, Kusha, ADA USD on the weekly time frame. Beautiful against the dynamic. And I think you sent out an email to people. Like, this was all the way back in November. You sent out a email or somewhere around here, right? You said, hey guys, Cardano, all you have to do is, to do it the Mango way, do it the easy way, do it the breezy way, stick to the weekly, don't get shook out on the lower time frames. And the dynamic over here on the trend, the weekly trend on the dynamic, has kept you in the trade this entire time. Now, is it threatening to break down? It is, but that's all you have to do, right? Wait for it to actually threatening, but not actually doing it. You have to wait for the weekly to actually give you that confirmation before you sell your position, right? Because in a bull market, sometimes all you have to do is outpatience everybody and have the discipline, and it's been almost a 800% move, guys, since then. So now, Kusha, what's your thoughts on the weekly structure?
Look at what's happening, okay? So now, if you look at the prevailing structure, okay, and you look at the same thing on, say, the daily time frame, you'll notice that I had a symmetrical triangle drawn out for you guys, okay? Symmetrical / ascending triangle. This is before, of course, we actually had that breakdown. Now, what really happened there, Sean, is that price broke to the upside, okay? We got a fake out. Price then broke to the downside, and then we saw continuation to the downside. But now notice what's happening. It's like a hunt on both sides of this trade. We got a hunt to the upside. Beautiful. Okay, and then we had a hunt to the downside, and now on this weekly candle, we're actually seeing now this week just started. Okay, just started, and we've already sort of taken out, undone half of what happened last week. This is the first day of the week. We're not even done this day, and look at what's happening right now. We're threatening to take out that breakout point. And as soon as we do that, and I think that honestly, Sean, it comes in at around.
Are you looking at the weekly time frame or the daily right now?
I think you're looking at the weekly right now.
The weekly?
Sorry,
Okay, cool.
I'm looking at the weekly time frame. I think that region sort of comes in at $1.20.
So you were drawing in this as an ascending triangle, eh? I see. So we came and we failed. Okay, I see. Okay, so right. I was just looking at this entire structure over here without drawing in a formation as a bull flag. Now this hasn't broken out yet, the bull flag. Like if you draw the ascending triangle, then yes, you can read it as it broke up, it broke down, and that's amazing though, right, Kusha? Because how many times have we pointed this out on, especially during the bear market? During the bear market, we used to point this out on Bitcoin on the mid time frames, and we used to see it come really close to the breakout, and then we'd say, you know what this is going to do, guys? It's going to do both. It's going to break up and break down, right? And then do nothing. Yeah. So we kind of have that on Cardano over here, which is telling us something about the market participants, the traders on this chart. So this is not a chart you want to ignore at the very least. That being said, you can make your life simple and easy, and try not to look at the patterns too much. Look at the structure of what's going on. And Krisha is right, and it shows me how much she's matured as a trader over the years, because she was able to spot this as a fake out up and a fake out down, because she knows what's going on over here. You took out the liquidity up to the upside and the liquidity towards the downside, because over here taking out this low at around 97.8 cents is was pretty critical. But the fact that the bulls closed above the dynamic anyways is really bullish, right? That's really bullish. So I want to see what happens here if we break. Kusha, my read, $1.30 close, or weekly close about $1.30. At the very least, we're going to $1.50, perhaps all the way to $2 after that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think it's looking bad at all. In fact, even the dynamic fine is giving us that neutral trend. But I think as soon as we, like you said, as soon as we start breaking $1.30,
yeah,
I think this is likely gonna head up even further.
Okay. So Kushan and I have the same thoughts over there on Cardano as well. The daily is looking. Let's go ahead and take a look at the daily. Kushan, the daily and the dynamic. It's like Cardano has been respecting the dynamic so well in everything it does, that this is the kind of chart that reminded me of Chainlink, when Chainlink was such an easy trade back then, right? 2018 to 2020-ish, when Chainlink was just so easy to trade. Cardano is like that right now. It's doing everything systematically. Even its bear moves are systematic. Breaks the dynamic, tests the bottom. Look at that, Kusha. Breaks the dynamic, tests the bottom of the cloud, tests the dynamic, and then continues down towards the downside, right? Puts in a bear flag underneath the dynamic, and boom, 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 boom. Tests the bottom of our zone, which again was derived from the weekly dynamic. And again, the USD pairing on the daily time frame is still in a downtrend, guys. Okay, it's still in a downtrend in my opinion, but the weekly is still looking good. I want to see the daily close about $1.30. Your thoughts, Kisha? Which lines up with the weekly level, actually.
Yeah, no, I have the same thing, $1.30. Okay. I say the weekly. You're looking at the weekly, right?
I'm looking at the daily at the moment.
Okay.
And my daily is also lining up. Okay. No, I'm looking for the weekly for the confirmation. But the daily uptrend for confirmation, I'm looking for $1.32 to be retaken.
Yeah, no. Agree there. We are in consensus.
Cool. So that's pretty much it, guys. We did Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Cardano today, and pretty in-depth at that. You got my thoughts and Krisha's thoughts. Today was definitely a treat for those of you who actually want to learn. Let me just go on over to the comments really quick, see if I missed anything.
I'll likely be covering XRP. I think I'll be doing XRP in the daily video today. So heads up, all you XRP fans.
Yep. So Kenneth is here. Hey Ken, how's it been, man? It's been a long time since I've seen you. Ken Kephart, how are you, bud? Danny says, I lived there for a while. Okay. And scrolling up. Tornado, BT says, so true, Sean. Such an important lesson. I think you're referring. Oh, okay. You're referring to what I talked about in terms of being right on the trade idea and losing money, right? You can't let that happen, and you need to focus on making sure that moving forward, right, take a step back and be like, what am I doing wrong? There's something I'm doing wrong. I need a strategy to avoid this crap. Being right on a trade idea is hard enough, but being right on a trade idea and then losing money, you can't let that happen, right? You can't let that happen. Like, remember, at Mango, we are champion losers. We're completely fine being wrong, and we will consistently be wrong throughout our lives as traders, right? Can't be afraid of being wrong. Can't be arrogant and egotistic. It is when you are right, though, you want to capitalize on that, and capitalize big depending on your trading style, of course. Okay, old man. Oh, he's back. I thought you went to pick up your kids, but he's like, of course, sub. Yeah, guys, by the way, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the notification icon. Kusha, people have been complaining about not getting the notifications for the live streams, so I'm not sure what we can do to help over there other than ask them to join us.
I'll sort of look into it, because I know that some people have sort of they've hit the bell icon, they've subscribed and everything, and they're not getting those notifications still. I'm not sure if it's a thing on YouTube, but I'll sort of I'll look around.
YouTube has been
come up with a solution.
Difficult for the crypto folk. Alright, so is there any other requests we want to take? I don't think so. Oh, I do want to give another quick look at UniBTC, because someone did mention it on the last stream, and we did mark it out as a really good opportunity. So it did break out, by the way, guys, right over there. So for those of you who have stayed till the end of the stream, this is a gift for you. Nice breakout. We were marking this on our last live stream. If you guys did catch it, good for you. Broke towards the upside now, retesting that zone. I'll be looking for continuation on this. UniBTC looking freaking fantastic. A few other things I want to quickly take a look at. Let's go ahead and look at these shitcoins over here. The US 10-year yields. I just want to look at it on the weekly, on the dynamic quickly.
Can you just call it shitcoins?
It is a shitcoin. Yeah, still bouncing. We want this to break, guys. Remember, we want the 10-year yield to break the dynamic over here, losing the structure, and move towards the downside. I mean, if it does bounce, it's not the end of the world, but again, holding it on the 30-year dynamic as well. So okay, we can check out SPY quickly. SPY bouncing off the dynamic and making new highs. Continuation, looking great. People getting bearish and been calling the top all the way to the top, and the top, and the top, and the top. They'll be calling this all the way to around 450, 460-ish. I think we might get to 460, man.
You know, you actually brought up like an amazing chart. I'm not sure, I don't think we can pull it up here, but Sean actually showed me like this awesome chart. So it was Bitcoin, but Bitcoin against the money supply. And that was a very, very interesting chart to look at. So for those of you who can pull it up, definitely worth looking at. It is it's an eye opener, definitely. Even in terms of how Bitcoin has sort of been trending right now, right? It's been uber bullish. And of course, there are other external economic reasons behind that, right? So it's good to have like a holistic view on market conditions as a whole.
Yeah, Bitcoin, guys, has not broken into all-time highs, not even all-time highs yet. If you plot it against the money supply, right? Money supply adjusted price of Bitcoin is actually pretty scary that Bitcoin has not even hit 20,000 yet. If you adjust how much has been printed. So by the way, guys, if any of you guys do use Twitter, go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I will start posting on there regularly. I'll try and post a link to you guys. I just posted a tweet recently, a really amazing quote by Robert Breedlove. Let me try and pull up my Twitter. I don't even know my Twitter handle off the top of my head.
I think it's Mango Sean.
Yeah, is it with a 0 or?
I think it's with a 0.
It's Mango Sean with a 0, so it's MANG 0 Sean. And yeah, so the tweet, by the way, is the stability of rules is the bedrock of peace. Robert Breedlove. That quote was amazing, right? So when I read that, I was like, man, that's actually profound. The stability of rules is the bedrock of peace. And I was like, hashtag Bitcoin, because that's what Bitcoin gives people. People don't understand. They don't, you really need to spend a lot of time before you get Bitcoin, and I had to, right? In fact, look at this. My Twitter handle says, "Came for Ethereum, stayed for Bitcoin." I was actually a massive Ethereum bull until I started studying Ethereum more and more. I used to write on Ethereum, guys. I've written on various fundamental topics on Ethereum. But the more I studied it, the more questions I had on other things, and that led me down a rabbit hole on Bitcoin. that actually led me down a rabbit hole, and the answers to the questions I had were being solved in Bitcoin, and then that led me down a rabbit hole in Bitcoin. And you really got to spend a lot of time to understand what Bitcoin offers the world. And when you do, this sentence over here, stability of rules is the bedrock of peace. If many of you guys are fans of things like this, like Robert Breedlove and other ideas around this economics, etc., go ahead and follow me on Twitter. I will be posting long macro trend charts as well over there, so I'm gonna go ahead and post my link to my tweet.
It's funny that you mentioned this, because just in the beginning, now this is the guy that Danny Boardwell actually replied to, right? I think his name was Zach or something, and he's like, Bitcoin is too expensive. I understand that Bitcoin is what leads everything, but most of your viewers can't afford it, and that's why people want to know about the cheaper big caps, I guess.
No, guys, you can't be thinking like that. But you remember that. Okay, what does cheap even mean, guys? What does cheap even mean? If I, how do I best put this? I'm trying to best put this without being too without trivializing it. Essentially, right? The price of an asset is completely irrelevant, right? If they're, let's say they're only how do I best explain this, Krisha, without being too condescending? I don't want to be too condescending while
No, I mean, I think you should sort of. Sean reads a lot. Like, he reads a lot. You guys don't understand. This guy gets up, he's brushing his teeth, and he's listening to audiobooks. It's ridiculous. So give it to them straight. Tell them what your opinion is on these things.
The price of an asset does not matter, guys. Like the actual price does not matter. What matters is the price of the asset relative to the amount of stock of the asset, right? How much Bitcoin is there? So if you guys could look at XRP for example, and it's sitting at around what's it sitting at around right now? $1 or something. XRP. So like, let's say $1.50, $1.80, I think $1.80ish. And does that make it cheap? Like, does that mean that XRP is cheap? No, it's actually a very expensive asset. Why? Because the amount of shares, right? People call XRP shares, people who are new to the crypto world. There's so many of them. So you're getting a smaller piece of a massive pie, right? So all you really care about is how big is that pie, and you want to have a greater percent of that pie, right? So for example, if there are only 2 Bitcoin, okay, if there are only 2 Bitcoin in the whole world, and you own 1 Bitcoin, you have 50% of that entire pie. So the price is irrelevant, right? Because you have 50% of the pie. But now, if there are 10 Bitcoin and you only hold 2, you don't have 50% of the pie, right? You hold a smaller percent of the pie, and the price is going to reflect that. So what you want, guys, is to look at the actual market cap of an asset and then judge whether something is really low or high. If you look at the big picture, Bitcoin is actually really cheap. It is relatively underpriced massively, and what you guys need to focus on instead is, hey, you know what, I want to own a fraction of a Bitcoin. Focus on owning some Bitcoin at the very least relative to your portfolio. Don't go and buy cheap assets just because they are penny stocks. That is a recipe for disaster, right? You're going to eventually get really hurt that way, guys. The price of the Bitcoin is completely irrelevant, right? If you double the amount of Bitcoin supply, which you cannot do, by the way, which is one of its value propositions, whether it's 52,000 or 26,000 is going to be irrelevant. For example, that's a really good way to understand it. If I double Bitcoin's total supply, well, it's equivalent to being $26,000 now, right? If I halve the Bitcoin supply, which by the way is going to happen in the next the issuance is going to halve, what's the equivalent if I halve the total supply of Bitcoin? What's the equivalent to today's price? $100,000. So does the price really matter? Does the price really matter? No, because if the total supply gets halved, right, the amount of Bitcoin you have is also going to get halved. You're going to go from having 10 Bitcoin, for example, to only 5 Bitcoin, right? If they can actually go and halve everything. So similarly, if they double everything, you're still going to have the same amount of value, right? But what's going to happen is you're going to have your coins are going to double in your wallet, but each coin is going to have less value. So the price does not matter. It's the total MCAP that matters. And that's how you guys should be looking at Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's MCAP right now Bitcoin is already considered as, by anyone who studied Bitcoin even a little bit, understands that Bitcoin is the better gold. Okay, the way better gold. And it's not even 10% of gold's market cap just yet, right? Or how much is it, right? I think gold's market cap is $10 trillion. Can someone go look it up quickly? Or 7 trillion, I'm not sure.
And there's just so much validation now that's sort of been thrown into that narrative of Bitcoin actually being the better gold. Now, last year, or rather in the last bull market, Bitcoin did not have that going for it. So I understand that people, they were skeptical. There were a lot of Bitcoin, Bitcoin skeptics pretty much. But now you have some of the smartest people on the planet that have sort of come on board. So it's definitely worth looking into. Just study, even if it's a bit, read into Bitcoin. In fact, you can get onto mangoresearch.co. We started off as a fundamental portal, and there's a lot of good information on blockchain technology as well as how Bitcoin really works. And Sean has actually written these posts, and he's broken it down so beautifully, like into a story. Okay, you can read it to your kid if you have a kid. It's that simple. So definitely go ahead and check that one out.
So the price of a Bitcoin being high is something that you guys should probably use to your advantage at the moment, because you should be thinking, damn, if I was wrong on this mindset idea, a lot of the rest of the world are wrong on this. And when that information asymmetry begins to thin out, when more and more people realize, right, well, you lose your edge, because you don't need to own an entire Bitcoin, right? You could own a fraction of a Bitcoin. You could own 0.0001 of a Bitcoin. It doesn't need to be an entire Bitcoin. You don't need to have, but at the same time, like if XRP one day starts, whoever controls XRP just decides to say, hey, you know what, we are going to reduce the supply by, boom, 1,000 or something. Well, each XRP coin is going to go up massively in value, but it's not going to change your the total value of the XRP you have, because they're going to take away your XRP. They're going to, let's say you have like 1,000 XRP, they're going to give you only 1 XRP instead. It's going to reduce from 1,000 to 1 in your wallets, right? So same thing, XRP's value is irrelevant. Bitcoin's dollar value is irrelevant. Bitcoin's dollar value is irrelevant. Focus on having a fraction if you can, because all that matters is the chart. If you guys look at the dollar value of each chart, is that how you're making your decisions? Hey, this is only $1. Hey, this is only 1 cent. That's not how you trade. That's not how you invest. It is no. Yeah. Wayne Byrne says, Wayne Brian Brew. How do I pronounce your last name? He says, morning, Sean and Kusha and Mango fans. Sean, you are spot on what you are saying. A typical rookie mistake. Yeah, man. Exactly. Yeah, I believe Bitcoin is only 10% of gold's market cap right now, right? Because I believe gold is at $10 trillion market cap, and Bitcoin's at 1 trillion, right? So
Skeptic says, wait, what? They can take coins from your wallet? Isn't that what all the governments are doing right now, man? By them printing, every time there's they print more, whether it's coins, whether it's even our fiat money in our wallets and our bank accounts, that is them essentially taking away from us.
Yeah,
that is them actually dipping their hands into our bank accounts and into our pockets and taking away from us. There are various ways they can actually go about doing these things. They don't have to literally come to you and take your money from you. No, they can just go ahead and inflate the currency.
Exactly. So he says, wait, what? They can take coins from your wallet. That's the reason, by the way, you're seeing so many central CDBCs, right? Central digital bank currencies being introduced globally, right? A lot of these central banks they want to introduce a digital currency that they control. Remember, guys, there's a difference between a central bank and the banks that you deal with, right? So the Fed is a central bank. When the central banks are issuing their own digital currency, they're going to push it as they need the banks less, right? And they don't need the banks right now. Right now, they rely on providing liquidity to the banks, and we'll talk about how they do that on a different topic in a different day. But they provide liquidity to the banks, and the banks go ahead and now disperse that liquidity to us. not fairly, of course, but they disperse that liquidity to the rest of the world. But once central digital bank currencies are introduced, they don't need to do that anymore. They don't need to go to the banks. They can literally give you money into your bank accounts, into your digital wallets, right? They'll print money into your digital wallets, but on the same measure, they can take out money from your digital wallets. Right now, you can't do that. So if you mean, hey man, can Bitcoin do that? No, Bitcoin cannot do that. Bitcoin is decentralized, right? People are not going to be like, hey man, let's completely just ruin our stake in Bitcoin. Everybody has skin in the game in a decentralized manner. But central banks, however, right, the Fed will not care. They will take money from you if you owe them taxes. They can stop you from sending money out. They can, and I'm not referring to the Fed directly, guys. I'm talking about all central banks. They can stop you from transacting. They can decide where you transact. They can decide they can programmably decide that, hey, this certain coin over here that we are giving someone, or this certain dollar that we're giving someone, can only be spent on real estate, can only be spent on what we want this guy to spend it on. They can program in there that this cannot be spent on Bitcoin. This cannot be spent on Ethereum, right? Imagine if you guys are living in a world like that, where you guys get your stimulus checks, right? But it's programmed that you guys can only buy what they want you to buy. Imagine the level of manipulation now that can proceed, because now they can manipulate your incentives or what you are incentivized to buy, because they can remove what they don't want you to buy from the list. So there are some repercussions of what's to come.
Yeah. So it's definitely start researching. We're sort of in this world, like a shift almost, where it's going to pay to be aware.
All right, guys, so I'm going to wrap up with that now. We've done 2 hours today. I was supposed to do only an hour 30 minutes, but hey, this was fun nonetheless. I hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. I hope you guys enjoyed Krisha's guest appearance. Let us know in the comments down below which video you guys want Krisha to cover. It has to be one of the coins that we did not cover today. So cannot be Cardano, cannot be Ethereum, and cannot be Bitcoin, right? So let us know in the comments down below. That's how Krisha is going to judge, by the comments that we receive. And if you guys did enjoy this video, do hit the like. If you guys enjoyed that Krisha was on here, go ahead and hit the like even more, right? Because that way we'll be like, hey, this stream did really well, and Krisha's time was well spent. So maybe she should come on here more often. If you guys don't like the video, I'm just going to tell her to sit on her butt and do nothing. She can look pretty instead.
Let us know, guys. Hit that like button, because that's how we can judge.
Danny says that gold's market cap is 11.2 trillion. So think about that. Think about the fact that gold is only 10%. Bitcoin's only 10% of gold's market cap. There's so much more market cap for it to capture. Because eventually, in my opinion, Bitcoin will flip in gold. It should flip in gold, right? Because Bitcoin is better than gold in every single way. In every single freaking way, and then some. So, and as more and more people realize that, you're going to see Bitcoin's market cap start moving towards gold's market cap. And you know what I should have mentioned in that conversation was, like, does it really matter? Let's say Bitcoin, let's say you capture only 0.1 Bitcoin, okay, versus buying an entire Bitcoin, you buy only 1/10 of a Bitcoin. Does it really matter whether you buy 0.1 or 1 Bitcoin if Bitcoin 10x's in value? Because let's say you're 0.1 Bitcoin and you bought like, how much is $5,000, right? Something around there, $5,000 worth, and then Bitcoin 100x's. Well, this value over here is going to 100x. So for 10x's, this value over here is going to 10x, right? It's going to turn from 5,000 to 50,000, regardless of whether you have 1 Bitcoin or 0.1 Bitcoin, right? Regardless, right? So all that matters is the value you put in there and how much percent it increases by. Its dollar value is irrelevant. The percent gain is what's most. That's what I should have started with. That's what would have appealed to you guys. Its dollar value is irrelevant. Its percent gain is what matters. Okay, that's all that matters. There you go. Alright, I hope you guys enjoy the stream. Until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, do the mango way, do the stressy way. Krisha, any closing thoughts?
No, that's it. We'll see you
Do the
guys
crazy
soon.
way. Ciao.
Ciao, guys.